tell you a little bit about speakers. As you can see, this one's pretty much shot. No foam surround left. The dust cap is long gone and there's crud inside it. There's the coil there, of course surrounded by the magnet there. Coil here. These are your coil leads. That one's actually broken. Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, I stole the tinsel lead off right here. These here are your tinsel leads that lead from your terminals down the cone and into the coil. Comes through right there. Now, a lot of times, if your speaker, the first test I always do to a speaker is I push it up and down. As you can hear, that one's full of crud. So it's crunching, popping. It's not supposed to do that. It should freely move as long as you have to keep it centered. But if it freely moves, that's probably not actually blown. Now, if it's crackling or scratching when you do that, it's almost definitely blown unless it's out of alignment. Now, what happens a lot is these tinsel leads here, they either break here or down. Oh geez, lost half my cigarette. Or down here where it goes through here. If you put a meter to it and test either end, you can usually see if you got continuity between them. And that'll tell you if your lead's already shot or not. They're actually fairly easy to replace. You just desolder the old one, pull it out, and put in a new one. One thing, you may think this looks a lot like solder braid. Well, it's not. And solder braid does not work. I've tried that. But anyway, so this is actually the number 2 of my legendary duct tape subs. I got these speakers. Here's the other one. It's actually in decent shape still. But I got these speakers back, 5-6 years ago when a buddy of mine had them. And he had left them out for a couple of months in his yard, and he said, "Hey, you want the speaker box?" So I said, "Sure." Brought them home. Said, "Hey, I wonder if the speakers work." Wrapped duct tape around the surrounds that were rotted out, and sure enough, they both worked, and they actually worked well. But I've since blown this one up. I actually put the surround, I put a new surround on it, but I put it on wrong, and it was misaligned, and it caused the coil to hit the side and short out, and that's why you hear that crunching and grinding, not to mention it's full of crud. Now this speaker here, another example, there's your tinsel leads there. Now it looks pretty fucked up because it's got no surround either, but if you actually put it up where it's supposed to be and push it in and out, there is no crackling noise. So it's actually still a good speaker. It just needs the new foam surround, which is actually really easy. You just glue in along here and to your speaker, of course, right along this edge. And there you go, you got a new surround. You have to use the right glue. They make speaker glues specifically for that kind of thing, and that's what you're going to want to use. You need a flexible glue, like contact cement isn't going to work, silicone isn't going to work. It's either not sticky enough, not flexible enough. Use the proper stuff and it'll last a hell of a lot longer. But I've had fairly good luck over the years with fixing up speakers like this. This is actually an old Sirwin Vega knockoff. That's why it's got the orange surround. It's actually a smaller version of one of these, believe it or not, and slightly different. It has a coating on the paper as opposed to straight paper. Now, sometimes, of course, you have your polyprop speakers, which are plastic, or your Kevlar speakers, which are usually like a woven material. But, for the most part, they're relatively the same. And if you've ever wondered what these ridges are, they actually provide superior sound, believe it or not, and better frequency response. But, alright. I don't know if there's that much more I can tell you on how to fix them. Now, like I said, Usually what goes is your tinsel leads here and here, usually right at the points where they solder in, but not always. All speakers are different. Actually, once in a while, in the coil here, where the coil wire comes up, sometimes there'll be a break between the coil and the end of the wire where it goes into the solder joint, but that doesn't always happen. It's happened to me once or twice though, so it can happen. Now this is the duct tape sub. She's had a hard life, but believe it or not, the fucking thing still pounds. This is just vinyl tape over the holes, the many holes I've put in it, and I just siliconed, or I think I used seal all actually, and covered it all up. I ripped the dust cap right off it, but look, no resistance. And as you see here, that's the tinsel lead I had to replace on this one, because that actually broke on this one, and I stole it off the other one. But there you go. It's one hell of a speaker. It's actually still working quite well, and very loud. I can't use it here in my place. I need a car to actually put it in the trunk to be able to listen to it. It's that loud. But I hope this was informative to some people, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment or ask.